Hi, I'm Jan McCarthy. I'm the entrepreneurial guru, and I am here talking to entrepreneur extraordinaire Wendy of WM Designs. Now, I have to tell you how I met Wendy. I was at a conference and I saw this woman walking by with the most incredible, gorgeous bag, and I nearly tackled her, saying, "Where did you get that bag?" So, Wendy, welcome. Tell us the story. Where did you get that bag?
I made that bag. I am a handbag designer by trade, and I have been designing bags for about 10 years now. And I am an independent designer as well as owning my own business.
Fantastic. So tell us a little bit more. How did you get started? Tell us a little bit about who Wendy is, where you first got started doing what you do. Let's talk a little bit more about what you do, and then some of the steps that have led to you launching your own design company with your own handbags. And we get a chance to talk about these handbags.
Okay. Well, I am a mom and I have 4 children, and my education is actually in the dental field, and I was not too thrilled picking at teeth, to be honest with you, and decided that it wasn't quite what I wanted to do with my life. So I was married at a young age and started a family at the age of 25, had 4 children, and so I basically stayed home and was an at-home mom for 15 years. At that time, all of the kids were in school, and I said, I want to do something, and I've always had a creative side to me, and kind of a design, was always enjoying painting and doing some kind of arts and crafts or design, interior design. So I went to work for a company, believe it or not, who was doing specialty packaging and bags, a lot of cosmetic bags, tote bags, handbags, and really found my niche and just fell in love. And for the first time, really enjoyed doing what I was doing. So basically, I did that for about 10 years, and approximately 2 years ago, I decided that I found a need that women have. I travel a lot, I go overseas, and when I was packing my large bag for my computer, my small bag to go out to dinner, and then my in-between bag for the daytime. And I said, wouldn't it be great if I just had one bag and not 2 or 3? So it has taken me 2 years to develop that bag, find the proper materials, and to bring it to the market.
Well, that sounds great. So let's talk about let's actually talk about a few of the bags that you have. Now, I know that we weren't able to have all of the bags here, which
Correct.
could take more than the show for us to go through and show the line of bags that you have, which is approximately 10 different ones, right?
Correct.
And but we have 2 of the bags here that are 2 of my favorites anyway. So why don't you show this? Let's start with this bag.
Okay. So this is my
And we can put it here on the table if we need to.
Travel-All tote bag, and this comes in 100% wool. All of my bags are made with the finest materials that I can find, and with leather trim. But the beauty of this bag is that it is large enough that you can put your computer, you can put your iPad, you can travel with it. And then the outer pocket is actually removable. And
Let's show how you do it.
also, you can use this so it unbuckles simply here and slides off the front. And then we have a small strap that is hiding inside here. And this attaches, and you can use this as a crossbody. So if you're going to dinner and you just need your a little bit of money and your glasses.
And your phone, of course.
And your phone, oh yes, absolutely. We can't go without our phone. Then you simply use this. So you're avoiding taking 2 bags. And then when you have it connected to the bag, it's easy to use access for your cell phone on the outside of the bag. So that is one bag. And this bag also comes in a great black with a saddle color and has done very well for me.
Well, I think it's just extraordinary that you really recognize that need, and as as women, all women know, we love our bags.
Yes.
And we
Yes.
love having multiple bags. And we, as being the great multitaskers that we are, we love the fact that there's a bag that we can multitask with at the same time.
Absolutely.
And not only is it beautifully made, where just having a bag like this in and of itself is great to carry all of those things that we've got, like you said, but then to be able to take that bag and go out to dinner and not have to have another purse to carry with us is just a great, great way. And I think, as I've mentioned several times, women often start a business from a place of pain or passion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what you've done, is you've said, okay, this is a real pain for me that I am having to carry all of these bags, try and look for everything in different places, and leaving this bag at home or in the hotel room or wherever, and it had certain things, and this way you're able to keep it all together, very organized in a very sophisticated way, and yet still have everything you need with the multiple bags. So I think it's absolutely brilliant.
Thank you, Jen.
So you've got a new bag.
I do have a new bag.
That
and this
you just launched this year for the 2012. Now, what makes this one different?
This is a little bit more easygoing, casual. You could roll it up in a ball to travel, but the beauty of this bag is that it's great size for the daytime or just to even fit your iPad. But when you need a larger bag and you've been shopping and you have things to put inside your bag, you simply unzip this and you now have a larger bag. And so now it fits your computer, it fits everything that you need. You can put a notebook in here so that you can go to the office, go to a meeting, or just go shopping. And then you can downsize when you want to just go to dinner.
Again,
Yes.
And you've got some features inside too,
I
right?
do. I have some great pockets that are inside, lots of great trim, zipper pocket on one side, double pocket.
So fun. So
And
fun.
I tried to incorporate some bright colors to kind of give it some pizzazz, and it's a surprise. I mean, people just are amazed when I open it and they go, wow. So it's really been a fun bag, and it comes in a lot of bright, fun colors.
Well, I'm always fascinated about how you decide about the colors, the even the different styles that you've got. And you've got a variety of styles, at least 4 or 5 styles.
Correct.
Specifically that do different things, that have different features. So like that one expands, and this one has the detachable purse. How did you decide that, okay, I'm going to go with these colors? Do you look just at what the trends are, or do you just listen to your gut and say, I like it, therefore?
I do a little of both, Jan. I do a lot of research for the trends, and that is one gift that my mother gave me, was the gift of a great eye. And when I see a fabric or I see a combination, I've learned to go with my gut. And so I'm very fortunate. I travel overseas a lot. I go to the different fabric markets. I walk the market. I pull fabric swatches. I go back, and then I play with the different materials. That's one of the beauties of this bag, is the mix of material. You have patent leather that's mixed with a ballistic nylon, and then it's also mixed with a polyester cotton lining. So you get a different mix of textures. So part of it, I think, is, you know, the purple is very big right now in the trend, and so I tried to pull that in with the black on this bag here. But it's also just using my intuition of what I like, and it seems to work.
And that's really something that entrepreneurs really need to listen to, is
Yes.
what is their gut telling them, what is their intuition telling them, and doing their research too, of course. But I like that you are knowing that you are kind of your ideal target customer, and paying attention to that fact, and then listening to your intuition, and not just copying what else is out there, but really saying, okay, what can I do to come up with something unique, and then allowing these bags. I mean, you've certainly got the sophisticated bag, but you also have these bags that are fun, kind of fun and flirty and that kind of thing.
Right.
So I love that you go over and you pull these different fabrics and materials, and you look at them together and decide what works and what doesn't. I think that what I'm picking up on, though, is, do you feel that if you had not had the experience of on-the-job training, so to speak, to even know how to go and negotiate or talk to manufacturers in a foreign country, would you have, even if you had come up with this brilliant idea without having to travel overseas and everywhere on your own, had you come up with this idea, do you think you would have known what it is that you were supposed to do?
Well, I'm a great believer in researching and resourcing and asking. So I'm very fortunate that I've had the experience that I've had, and I've worked with phenomenal people and some of the biggest retailers that are out there. But the personality that I have is I have a lot of drive, and so I'm going to figure it out. Whether somebody tells me, and if that person doesn't have the answer, I'll ask the next person. It really took me, Jan, 2 years to find the proper factory to make my bags to the quality that was acceptable for me. And I just kept looking and kept searching. It was a process and an expensive process because I would make samples, I would buy material, and then there would be disappointment. And but I kept at it. And I think that is a big part of being an entrepreneur, is that you don't give up and you keep following your dreams.
I agree with you. I agree with you. So I usually like to ask this at the end, but just in talking, what advice would you give someone? So if there were someone, there's so many women, girls, guys that would love to go into fashion, but they really don't, in some form or another, but they really don't know where to start. What would be the piece of advice that you would give them about where to start, especially if I assume it would decide whether you're going to manufacture overseas or in the States, but what would be the advice that you would give them to be able to try and go, how to even start to find those resources?
Well, we are very fortunate here in Los Angeles to have the Mart downtown in Los Angeles, and there's a lot of resources there. There's a whole bookstore that is just full of resources as to how to manufacture, where to manufacture. There's lots of organizations such as Ladies Who Launch, who allows you to meet with different people who have contacts and who know where to have a pattern made or where to purchase leather. So you have to put yourself out there. There's trade shows to go to. There's all kinds of information. You can just walk the streets of Los Angeles and walk into some of these shops, and people are really willing to help. And you just have to not be afraid to ask, and you'd be amazed at the information that you can find out.
Yeah, I think that's really, really great advice. Great advice. So what would you be doing if you weren't creating handbags and other type of items that you're doing for the large department stores?
Well, I'd probably be creating something. If it wasn't handbags, maybe it would be interior design is another love of mine. So maybe I would be an interior decorator. But it would definitely be something using my creative genes that I've been given.
And I think knowing what your strength is, and one of your strengths is being very creative, is really critical in that entrepreneurial process, is developing that strength and really, really focusing on it. So how do you decide? I mean, there's so many bags, there's so many things, we get distracted by shiny objects. How do you say, okay, I'm going to keep my line at this number of bags? Obviously, there's so many things that you would possibly want to, I'm thinking about myself actually, yes. Probably like there's so many things I'd want to bring in. How do you stop that process and say enough is enough and now it's time?
Well, that's a hard decision, but really finances play a big part in that.
Okay, sure.
So you can there's limited funds, and you can only put out so much for production at